Nobody tells you this. But there are times in history when heaven itself opens up to remind the world that God is present among us. If you're watching this, it's not by chance. God wants to speak to you about a silent miracle, a revelation that forever changed how humanity experiences the Eucharist. It was in Liège, Belgium, in the 13th century, when Christ's love showed itself through a woman chosen by God, Saint Juliana of Cornillon. Saint Juliana was a nun of deep faith, who, since her teenage years, received mystical visions from the Lord. One night, while praying in silence, she saw a radiant moon in the sky, but with a dark spot in its center. Confused, she asked God to show her its meaning, and the Lord answered her.
That spot represents the absence of a feast, especially dedicated to the most holy sacrament of the altar. Juliana then understood that God wanted a special celebration in honor of his real presence in the Eucharist.
For 20 years, Juliana kept this revelation to herself, until, moved by the Spirit, she shared it with the church leaders in Liège. Bishop Robert of Torot, after listening carefully, recognized that her vision was real. So, in the year 1246, a feast in honor of the Most Holy Sacrament was established for the first time, celebrated solemnly in Liège. It was the beginning of a devotion that would quickly spread throughout the whole church. Soon after St. Juliana's death, Pope Urban IV, who had personally known her story, promoted the Feast of Corpus Domini for the entire Universal Church. The Pope recognized that the Eucharist, even though it's celebrated every day, deserved a special remembrance once a year. And in a decree called Transiturus de Hoc Mundo, he wrote these timeless words: "Although the Eucharist is solemnly celebrated every day, we believe it is right that at least once a year a more honored and solemn remembrance should be made. Indeed, in this sacrament, Jesus Christ is present with us in his very substance." This is how one of the most beautiful celebrations in the church calendar was born, the Feast of Corpus Christi. Corpus Christi is much more than a parade or a tradition. It's an act of faith, a declaration to the world that God has not abandoned us. In every Eucharist, Christ truly becomes present, not as a symbol, but as body, blood, soul, and divinity. When we receive communion, we don't just touch a piece of bread. We touch the very heart of God. That's why Corpus Christi is the feast of tangible love, of the God who stays, of the Christ who walks with us. Saint Juliana dedicated her life to reminding us that the Eucharist is the heart of the soul and the Church. Her vision was a call to humanity, an invitation to rediscover Jesus' living presence in the silence of the tabernacle.
She used to say, "The Lord showed me the Church's wound and asked me to heal it with adoration." Today, her message lives on. Every time we kneel before the Most Holy Sacrament, the moon shines full again in the sky of faith.
Corpus Domini was born from the heart of a faithful woman and became a universal feast that unites heaven with earth. If this message touched your heart, write in the comments, "Jesus, I believe in your living presence in the Eucharist." And share this video so more souls can remember that Christ is still with us, alive, real, and eternal in every tabernacle in the world.
The Lord is here with us until the end of the world.